I will bet all of the money in my Roth IRA retirement account right now that none of you knew that the WNBA was hosting an all-star game before yesterday. And the only reason you know about it now is because of the ridiculous display of arrogance and ignorance that they displayed on their shirts, which has now received so much more attention than the actual damn all-star game itself. You know, somebody asked the question in one of the videos I watched about this. And the question was, how do we keep ending up back here? How do we keep ending up back here on this merry-go-round, talking about this subject over and over and over again, with the WNBA players complaining about not making more money? And I actually have an answer. I have an answer for it. But before we get there, let's talk about what happened at the All-Star game that not even God watched. The WNBA hosted their version of an All-Star game this past Saturday night, which I'll bet you my firstborn, he's right over there, I'll bet you my firstborn that none of you can name. You couldn't name me 10 WNBA All-Star players off the top of your head. I know you can't. Better right now. But anyway, so they host their All-Star game. But before the actual game, they have warm-ups and the shoot-around. And so whoever was the genius behind this next move decided that this was the perfect time to debut some new WNBA League merch by having all of the players, including Caitlin Clark, walk out onto the floor with T-shirts on that read, "Pay us what you owe us." My Lord. My Lord. I'm about to put you all in the driver's seat so I can help convey exactly what's happening here. And then you all can tell me what you would do in this situation. Okay? Now, stay with me. I want you to imagine that you are the owner and CEO of a performance-based company. Okay? Now, that company can be whatever you want it to be within the realm of entertainment. But whatever the form of entertainment is, your company and the revenue that it brings is directly tied to your workers and your staff's performance and their ability to entertain. Okay? So keep that in mind. Kind of like music artists. Music artists, their revenue, their popularity is directly tied to their performance. Follow me, because I want you to imagine this for a second. And let's say that then I want you to imagine that you have been giving those same workers that work for you a multi-year contract advanced in salary because you believe so heavily in what it is that they're doing and that one day they'll be able to turn your company around and cross over into the green. So as time goes on, the product your company is putting out, you want to support it. So you've been paying that cost. But as time goes on, it seems like it just hasn't been able to generate any money, your company. And after nearly 30 years of giving those workers money and subsidizing their lifestyles and paying them to do the thing that they love, imagine you now have a board meeting coming up to talk about earnings. So now you've got to go and sit down with all of your investors who you sold this idea to. So they believed in your goals because they believed in you. You also invite all of your business partners. And last but not least, you also call in your staff and employees because you want the investors and business partners to know exactly who it is that they've been shoveling money to and what they've been invested in over the past couple of years, decades, right? Okay, so you got this big meeting coming up. But for whatever reason, your employees are late on the date of the meeting, okay? They're late getting to this meeting, and you're not exactly sure why, okay? You've heard some rumblings among your staff. You've heard some rumblings in the coffee room, in the break room. You've heard some rumblings all week long about a potential strike. But in your mind, you're thinking to yourself, these bitches would never, right? No way, okay? No way they would strike on me. I've been subsidizing their lifestyle. So there you stand. It's meeting time. And you're in front of all your partners and board members. And you open up that folder that's sitting right there on the table in front of you. And that folder contains all of the information that has your company's earnings reports in it. And as you stand there in front of everybody, you realize something in real time. You realize that you've got to deliver some terrible news to all of them. Okay? And that news is that not only has your company not been profitable over the past 30 years, but you're in fact running at a deficit of over $300+ million in revenue since its inception. Oh, and by the way, you're on pace to lose another 40 million this year as well. What do you think the air in that room smells like? What do you think the temperament is in that room? And then, just when you thought that this meeting couldn't get any worse, in walks all of your missing employees. It turns out they didn't strike, that they were planning something. So they all waltz in there and they all have T-shirts on that say, "Pay us what you owe us," right in front of everybody, in front of all the business partners, all of the investors, everybody who's been pouring money into this sinking ship for years. They all just walked in with these shirts on. And you have these entitled ass, ungrateful and unqualified fools standing there in the boardroom telling you that you need to step your game up and pay them more money, the money that they haven't earned. What would your response be to that? Come on. I want to know. I want to know what your response would be to that. We are beyond the point of delusion now. This is blatant theft and unhinged arrogance at work here. Let's play the clip.
Obviously, you made a statement with your play, but you guys made a statement about the pay today, and it said, "Pay us what you owe us" on the shirts. It's going to get a lot of attention. If you could just say in the simplest form to those who are just getting aware of this now, what do you mean by what you owe us?
The players of what is building this brand and this league. There is no league without the players. And, the past, present, the ones coming up, they're the ones that have put in the blood, sweat, and tears for the new money that's coming in. And so we feel like we are owed a piece of that pie that we helped to create. So that's basically what that is.
Nafisa, next question to your right in the front row. Fisa, Nick Hamilton, Nightcast Media. Speaking about the statement that you all collectively made and having the fan support, what do you want the other fans that may not fully understand what you're fighting for? What is the message that you want to convey over for the rest of the season? And are those shirts that you guys will be wearing, for the remainder of the season as well?
I guess I would want people to understand that basically we get a very tiny percentage of all the money that's made through the WNBA, which obviously is through our entertainment, the entertainment we provide. And so we want a fair and reasonable percentage of that.
Bless her heart. That was your MVP of the WNBA, Napheja Collier, who scored 36 points. So that's why she was being interviewed, because it was a record. Yeah, 36 points was a record for the WNBA. Listen, she says something very important. I'm going to back it up here. Just a couple seconds. I want y'all to focus on this right here.
Through our entertainment, the entertainment we provide. And so we want a fair and reasonable percentage of that.
So, Napheja and the rest of the WNBA say that they want a fair and reasonable percentage of all of their earnings. Okay. That seems fair, right? From the outside looking in, you would say, without having any prior knowledge, if someone made that statement to the press, you would say, that sounds fair. But now let me ask you. Let me ask you a question. What percentage should employees get of negative $40 million? The company, the entertainment value that they have brought your employees has not made the transition into anything profitable for your business. So now, if we were to actually do the math, here, let's do it right now. We're going to do it right now. Let's bring up the calculator. We're going to do a little math today. All right. So now Napheja says that they want a fair percentage of what the WNBA earns. Okay. Well, as of 2024, last year, I'm not even going to go off this year. Last year, the WNBA was in the negative, was in the red, $40 million. Now, I looked this up earlier. There are about 144 players in the WNBA. 12 players on every team is about 144 players. So now we're going to do some quick math. Because you all are in the red, negative $40 million plus dollars. But we going to just round down for y'all. So let's put it in there. $40 million. $40 million. And what we're going to do is we're going to divide that by 144 players. You bitches owe the NBA $277,777.77. And I'm not even going to round down. I want the 77 cents too. How will you be paying it? Will that be cash or credit? Y'all can divide it up however you want to. So some of the more known players, the Caitlin Clarks of the world, the Angel Reeses of the world, the players that have the extended contracts outside of the WNBA, where they really make all their money from outside sources, from outside brand deals, and so on and so forth. Those players can chip in more if they want to. We don't care how the deficit is paid. But if we're talking what is owed here, then how about y'all pay the league what y'all owe? Because in factuality, y'all should be paying to play because you haven't brought in any revenue. You should be paying the NBA, who is subsidizing your entire league, to play a single solitary game. I'm reminded of the conversation we had on the podcast where we got into it about whether or not the WNBA was an inferior product or not. And I still can't believe it to this day that we had 2 or 3 people, cats that I know, my friends. One of them was my brother. One of them is my brother, known him for a very long time. But they actually had the audacity to say that the WNBA was not an inferior product. Are you kidding me? Have you seen the highlights from the All-Star game for the WNBA? Have you all seen it? Here, I'll show you.
This was an abomination to basketball. Shout out Kelsey Mitchell for 20. I didn't know she had 20. Shout out to AJ Wilson for a solid 4-point performance. That's exactly what we needed. Exactly what we needed from you. We needed those 4 points. We needed all 4 of those points, because without those 4 points, it might have been a 24-point game. Sabrina Ionescu with 8 points in the first 2 minutes of the game. It's a pity she didn't do anything after that. She missed a couple of layups and scored a few layups. Jackie Young started the game, played 53 seconds, and immediately subbed out of the game. Gabby Williams was just chucking. Sykes took 18 shots in 22 minutes. Brittany Sykes, who was a injury replacement, took 18 shots and went 0 of 9 from 3 in 22 minutes.
This is what we're looking at. This is the product that these women are putting out, that they want to be paid exorbitant amounts of money for. An inferior product by far. It's not even a question of whether or not it's inferior or not. You should all be thanking the NBA right now. You should all be on your knees groveling and thanking them for holding your league up, because nobody is coming to see y'all games. And the funny thing about this entire deal, the bad thing about this entire deal is the one person that could possibly bring your league more money and bring in an influx of cash and endorsements and put your league on the map and give you greater visibility across the media landscape, the one person that could do that, y'all are trying to punch in the face, literally, and blackball. Y'all hate her guts because she's so much more talented than y'all. But that's what women do. That's what having a bunch of women in one league will do. The one person in Caitlin Clark who could help turn the tables of your inability to generate revenue, y'all hate her guts. The irony there is that it helps point out the broader landscape of this entire picture, which is that most of the WNBA players are Neanderthals that have not been forced to look at reality and in the mirror. I told y'all before at the beginning of this that I could answer the question of why we're on this merry-go-round having this conversation month after month after month, year after year, about why the WNBA players should get paid more money. I have an answer as to why we keep having this conversation. It's because not one person, not in that press room, not across media, not one person who has had a big name, not your Shaquille O'Neals, not your Stephen A. Smiths, not your Molly Karams, not your Joy Taylors, not one single solitary person, not Adam Silver himself, has been open, real, and honest with the WNBA players and told them to their face, listen, cut this shit out. Y'all not making no money as it is. We have been paying for you to ride coach for years. We have been putting you up in hotels. We have been funding your entire league experience with no return on revenue. And you want to come out and talk about pay us what you owe? That is why we keep having to have this conversation, because not one person, not one man has had the balls to step up and say to their face, we're not talking about this anymore because you all aren't generating any revenue. You keep talking about how you want to be paid out the same percentage as the man. Well, what is the percentage? What percentage can we possibly generate off of negative $40 million? Because if everybody really started paying what they owed, then a lot of you bitches would be homeless. Y'all would be working, y'all would be playing in the league. And then when you got off work, you would take your ass right to Chick-fil-A and punch in. But yet here you are. A lot of you being paid in salaries of $70,000 to $80,000 a year. That's a livable wage. It's close to six figures. But for a league that we couldn't even name off the top of our heads 10 all-star players, y'all want to cry and piss and moan about making more money? The entitlement, the audacity of you hoes. What? Nobody will be real with them, though. And just to give you an extra lens, an up-close view of how disconnected and disassociated these women, these female basketball players are from the rest of reality in the world. They have a clip circulating right now that's going viral with WNBA players going to the club and speaking to the bouncer and the security staff there with all of the audacity and entitlement that you could ever have. Talking about how they from the W. What the hell is the W? What? When did they start calling it that? Is that supposed to be some type of world-renowned media name that we should all know? Since when? We from the W, so I know we shouldn't be waiting in no lines. The arrogance of you is on full display.
Y'all got a section?
Yeah.
It's down here. That is.
Nah, I'm not. Well, we in the W and so we just got done at the All-Star game. So, like, sorry, we don't need. I ain't even trying to be funny, but we should not be waiting in no line. Yeah, come on, you better hurry up while we get in. They going in. Come on. We getting in right now. Come on. Yeah, she with me. What you doing? I know. I need to count. Tati, go. Tati, go. I'm good. Tati, go. Y'all with me. Go, Mom. These are my people. Man, y'all, why we finna go, bro? Because they doing too much. Come on. We can go somewhere else. Come on. I'm sorry. Come on, bro. Go. We going. They just talking about, oh, we can only have 7, huh? What are you talking about, man? That's crazy to me. We don't got to deal with this ghetto.
How could you possibly watch a video like that and still support this shit? How could you possibly watch a video like that from a chick with pink hair that looks like the stud that you would see up in Walmart down aisle 7, talking about we shouldn't be waiting in no lines? You're right. You should be serving. You should be serving the line in the kitchen if we really want to get real with this shit. It's amazing how they don't even know, and they're not even smart enough to realize and recognize when the world has acquiesced to their demands, when the world has already taken them in and acquiesced to their wants, to their what they want to do as far as being made equal. We gave y'all a standing. We gave y'all an entire league. And women won't even watch that shit. You can't even get your own species to watch it. You're still dependent on men. Not only do you want men to fund and support your damn league, but now we gotta support with our viewership. Now you want men. It's not succeeding because the men ain't watching. Well, goddamn. How much more do we have to do, the men? You could stop. They could release a press statement right now, today, and say, we have decided to shut down the WNBA. Do you know how much noise, how much disappointment would be made from that statement? Do you know what would happen across the media landscape? Do you know how many lives would be affected? Not one. No one would care. And then all of a sudden, all of them same chicks that was crying about not being paid more money, they would miss them $60,000 checks. They would miss them $70,000 salaries. I bet you that. Y'all really don't want this. Y'all really don't want to strike. I pray for the day that the WNBA players actually follow through with a strike. Because then you're going to see. You really going to see. And I don't think y'all not prepared for it. Because you've been lied to this whole time, and you've been lying to yourselves. Because nobody's been real with y'all. Anyway, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Maybe I'm off. Maybe the WNBA is the next biggest thing in sports entertainment. Drop a comment. I'll holler at y'all later.